So what does this time period mean for someone who you already know as well as her?
Yeah, Kristen and I had a conversation, and playing her in a pure 9, I think, is probably her most natural position. But just her commitment in terms of pressing the ball and physically challenging for the ball, we can use her. We wanted to press, so we need a forward that makes sure that they can physically commit to the game, obviously both sides of the ball. So Kristen committed to that, and I think her work rate has been tremendous. Now couple that with, I think she's a natural goal scorer. She's always looking to get in behind. She's always off shoulder. She's just done well in training, and got to reward that.
Go ahead, Steve.
Given the level of competition that Germany provided, what do you think you got out of a game like this?
Yeah, fantastic test. I think what we've been trying to do is just to work on playing on the ground and trying to beat lines. And so we've very specific things in terms of our organized attack we've been focused on. Germany is incredibly hard to break down. Physically they're organized. Transition's very good. So this is the first time our back three has played against such a quality opponent. And so I think at every level we got tested. But I think the confidence I think our players had on the ball to play and play out and solve it. I think that's a big card to put in their back pocket as we move forward.
If you guys can just wait for the mic, it helps our video back there. Right over here.
Carli was pretty dangerous tonight. What did you kind of see out of her, and what did you kind of expect of her? I know she's had a pretty busy off season.
Yeah, we're putting Carli in that seam right underneath. In front of their back line, and I think it's great. I think having a 2 front that engages the center backs opens that pocket so Carli can sit in there. I didn't think the first 15 or so we found her, and then we started to find her in there. It's tough when you're playing against a diamond like that. So we started to find her, and everything about her is she's the best in the world running at a back line, trying to get shots off or slipping balls through. We want her in that situation as much as possible. She got herself in that situation. I think there's a couple of times she probably could have pulled the trigger and she laid it off, but that's part of sharing the ball, and so I was pleased, really pleased. And just again, the defensive accountability is important. It's 50-50 in a game like this.
What are some of the things you can take away from tonight?
Well, obviously the performance. I think it's a 1-0 game, but I felt like we had very good opportunities. So as I said to players at the end of the game, I thought our confidence, our ball possession, our ball movement, it's that final piece, and we know that that's something we've got to work on, and it's usually the hardest thing. But yeah, seeing different players on the pitch, seeing Mal back in with us, Lynn, this is the first big game she's ever had, seeing us in a 3-back. There were so many takeaways in terms of what are we trying to do in our processes and how can we be tested, and we were certainly tested.
Jill, just in terms of the level of competition you face over the course of this week, how does it change the way in which you're able to see the team grow and develop at this point in the cycle?
Yeah, it's it's part of it. It's you've got to test your processes. So as we're starting to and I don't know what you see, but as we're starting to emphasize certain things, you can see them. We saw a lot of it against Switzerland. We saw a lot of it against Romania. So to now see it against the same things, it helps create that buy-in to your processes. And 2019 is the end point. So it's now how good can we be at this these pieces as we start to build. So this is why this tournament is critical for us. We don't have a Euros. We have these 3 of the best teams in the world coming here, and it's the only way you can really grow. And I've said to players, even if you lose tonight, you come out of a game learning something, and that's what the value is right now, is our development.
And just a quick follow-up to that: does the level of competition around the world, just generally being higher, improve and increase your ability to grow at this point in the cycle compared to, let's say, the way previous American teams would have been able to?
Yeah, certainly. You get tested. I think we're playing some of the top 10 teams in the world this year, and it's the only way you can really see if what you're doing is right or progressing, or the players can see that the processes are working. So yeah, it's critical to play these teams.
Yeah, hi Jill. Crystal Dunn and Topin Heath and Mallory Pugh playing as sort of wingbacks. Those are some very offensive players. Is that a bit of a gamble? And how were you're probably impressed by them tonight?
You know, if they're playing and we consider them wide mids, a wing back means you have an automatic. You watch Chelsea; they automatically drop into a 5-back. These guys are not to drop into our back line unless they absolutely have to, which is what they would do in the same position as being a wide mid. If we're overloaded in the back, they've got to provide cover. So if you watch when they drop in, they actually drop into a midfield line, so it's a 3 and then it's a 4. Are there times where we have to drop in and cover? For sure. But so I don't call them a wing back. They're full steam attacking players, and that's their profile, and that's what I'm choosing to go with in those positions is attacking minded players.
Let's go with Jeff, then we'll come up front here.
Jill, were you happy with the movement off the ball, and particularly with a player like Lynn? Is that, and not just her, but is that something that is maybe part of that final piece that needs to come at this level, is kind of the stuff that, you know, when she doesn't have the ball, when we're not necessarily seeing her?
I mean, in what we asked her to do when we were in our defending shape, we want to keep them connected so we can transition. So we don't want them stuck on the mid stripe when we don't have the ball. In terms of her movement, I mean, we knew that because of their outside backs pushing high, we knew the space. So we wanted to lock the center backs and then the space that she ran out into. So I was pleased with some of her movement. You know, we work hard on balls into feet, and yeah, sure, there's development areas for everybody. But overall, I thought her, you know, we talked at halftime being more confident going 1v1. I think you saw that more in the second half. So overall, yeah, I mean, for a first game against such a quality defensive team, you know, in terms of their organization, I thought she did really well. Good balance of in front of the line, behind the line.
Jill, staying on that topic, because it was your first game, were you even kind of more pleased? Because, you know, it's been a little while since you guys had played.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you see us in training, and you're kind of like, you know, you're excited to see it tested, but ultimately, yeah, there's something at stake here. So, yeah, I think I mean, you know, I think probably obviously Germany and France, those players are in the middle of their league. So they're playing regularly. Our players are not yet. They're just about to go to preseason. So for the performance, yeah, physically even, the commitment today, where we are, I thought was fantastic. So yeah, I was really pleased with a lot tonight in terms of our ball possession and movement.
Go ahead.
Jill, there's been a lot of discussion about the goalkeepers. So I'm wondering, hey, what you thought of Alyssa tonight, and also will we see Ashlyn on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I never give my lineup out early, but yeah, the commitment is to play them both. But I thought Alyssa managed the game really well. I thought her distribution was great. She dealt with, I mean, you know, Germany on top of the box can pull the trigger. Their balls in the box. I mean, they're just a very dangerous team around the box, and I thought she came for some balls really well, made some good decisions. You know, got her hand on that one in the first half, and yeah, I thought she played very well. I was really pleased with her. Told her that.
Go ahead, last one.
Joe, in terms of Casey Short, does what you saw tonight dovetail with what you've seen out of her day after day? And is this process really how you go about finding things like Casey's development?
Yeah, I mean, she defended her tail off, and she's a really good defender. You know, I think it's a different position that Casey's ever played before. She's usually hugging a sideline and you know, trying to get forward. So now we're asking her to distribute the ball for more of our inside channel. So I thought her defending was very, very good. And for sure, I think, you know, we're trying to pass our way out, and I thought she contributed to that tonight. So she did great.
Great. Thanks, guys. We'll get you in the mix zone.